Okay guys, welcome back to another video. I am thelrschmo, and today, oh boy, we have a lot to discuss with this Bojack unit. Also, by the way, at the time of this recording, it is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to you all. I hope you guys enjoy your day with your families, and just, hope the day is overall great for you all. But, anyways, we're here to discuss Bojack, because I just, like, it's 2:30 when I'm recording this, right? I woke up at like 12 o'clock today, and my phone exploded with a whole bunch of bullshit regarding Bojack. His information and super attack animations did come out last night. I also did post the super attack animations if you guys want to check that out too. But Bojack is very tricky, and let's go over what he does. We also have a new TR Zanya, which obviously everybody was expecting. But let's talk about Bojack, because Bojack is quite a mouthful, right? So he's Extreme STR, Space Traveling Warriors, Key 3, 170% across the board, and then Time Travelers, Key 3, HP attack and defense 150%. That's fine. Like, okay, so the problem with Space Traveling Warriors, again, like, I'm just going off the information of what I've seen around the community, like around Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. I was trying to see as many things. Space Traveling Warriors, it's literally just going to be Terrifying Conquerors, but with, like, hopefully okay, for them to do Space Traveling Warriors right, they need to have all these units that are on Terrifying Conquerors, like Cooler, Turles, Demon King Piccolo, Vegeta and Nappa, Baby, Frieza and King Cold. Let's scroll down a little more. More of the cooler units. This the Golden Frieza. Just so on and so forth, right? Like the Cooler Squad, right here, Final Form Cooler. Yeah, so it's just a lot of different units from Terrifying Conquerors that have, traveled from space to Earth and everything. And what this category desperately needs is the addition of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super Broly, from what I've heard, right? Dragon Ball Z Broly is the Broly from the Second Coming, so we're talking about like Tech LR Broly. We're also talking about LR STR Broly, and I mean, you can make the argument. Well, actually, no, you can't make the argument for physical DBZ Broly. But yeah, Second Coming Broly, yes. And then obviously Dragon Ball Super Broly, because he traveled from Vampa all the way to Earth, so he should absolutely be on this category. It's literally Terrifying Conquerors 2.0 with, like, the addition of Broly. Like, that's all the space traveling category could be, right? So there's that. Also, shout out to the homie Garesh, of course, for the translations. And then Time Travelers. Now, here's my problem. Yes, it's all obviously amazing that we're finally getting a new Time Travelers category leader. This is what I wanted in my initial reaction video to Bojack. But he doesn't fucking support Time Travelers. He supports Space Traveling Warriors instead. It is such a missed opportunity. This Bojack would easily be so much better if he was supporting Time Travelers, especially with all the fucking additions of all the Dragon Ball Heroes units and units like Vegito Blue as a prime example. Bojack is, here's the problem with this, right? He leads Time Travelers, but he's not gonna work well with other Time Travelers units, because, like, look at his links. Heraclan, Galactic Warrior, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst of Conquest, Coward, Revival, Fierce Battle. He'll work well with, like, the other Bojack units, a couple of Frieza units, and, like, here and there. But he's not gonna work well with Trunks, Zamasu, Goku Black, all the future arc units and shit like that. Vegito Blue, no, he ain't working well with them, and he's not supporting them either. So, I mean, what, could you make the argument for Space Traveling Warrior? Could you make the argument for Zamasu too? You probably could make that argument, because he did travel from, Universe 11 to Universe 7. So, yeah, I mean, you could make that argument, but I don't think Dokkan's gonna do that, just because of, past experiences with categories in Dokkan. But anyways, let's continue, right? Cosmic Bomber raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causing immense damage. Attack and defense 100% at the start of the turn. Space Traveling Warriors category allies key 2, attack and defense 30% when there is 1 or more enemy. And grant an additional attack and defense 10% when there are 2 or more enemies, and an additional attack and defense 10% when there are 3 or more enemies. So here's the problem. That is a good buff, you know, because obviously Space Traveling Warriors is a Terrifying Conquerors, as I mentioned. He's basically doing what Cooler does. Okay, this is the main comparison that I've seen with Bojack. He's literally a Cooler 2.0, but he might actually be a worse version of Cooler. Because you see this, 3 or more enemies. You're only going to get that in Super Battle Road. And that's a 50% attack or defense buff. But that's 3 or more enemies for having the full passive active. Cooler, on the other hand, does Terrifying Conquerors categories key 2, attack and defense 50% when there are 2 or more enemies. So right then and there, Cooler already has the win right there in terms of that passive. Their passives are literally the exact same, just their categories are swapped. But Cooler's is better because for having his secondary full passive active, the 50%, he only needs 2 or more enemies, and Bojack needs 3 or more enemies. So that's a little rough, but hey, that's just how it is. Let's continue, right? And then transformation conditions, able to be used once 4 turns have elapsed from the start of battle and there's only 1 enemy. So again, Cooler, I want to say Cooler wins this, but you know, for Cooler to transform turn 3, you do need a pure or hybrid Saiyan. But that's also literally 80% of the entire game at this point too. So, like, you can make the argument for multiple turns. Super Battle Road, you might not see his transformation as often, which is fine because you can probably keep him at, as a floater to support. But I want to say Cooler wins in terms of transformation, because like, if you're not using Cooler in an event where, you know, he's up against pure or hybrid Saiyans, then why are you running him at all? Like, you know, you could run literally any other team, you know, and then when you are facing a pure or hybrid Saiyan, you know, why would you run anything but Cooler? You know, like, here's the problem. Like, we're a year after Cooler has released on Dokkan. He was made way ahead of his time, and the problem with Cooler is that he's basically never going to age at this point. Because, 1, he leaves Transformation Boost, which is basically added to every other Dokkan festival. Hell, is being added to right now with the addition of this Bojack. And then Terrifying Conquerors, there you go. Same thing. Always being added to, right? And then number 2, he supports Transformation Boost, which is obviously amazing. And then number 3, that was a mighty voice crack. And then number 3 is, he has guaranteed crits against pure hybrid Saiyan units. So he's never going to age, and that's the problem with Cooler. He's such a busted beyond belief unit that now it's hard to judge him against other villain units, because like, you look at this, Bojack has the exact same fucking passive, but slightly worse than pre-transformation Cooler. And that's not even getting into post-transformation. Let's look at it. Links are Heraclan, Galactic Warrior, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Coward, Revival, Fierce Battle. So by the way, this guy is going to be fucking amazing against, it's not against, but with the already existing LR Bojack and squad, right? This guy is going to be nuts, because they share like Heraclan, Galactic Warrior, Big Bad Bosses, Thirst for Conquest, and Revival. And this guy supporting him pre-transformation. Dude, LR Bojack he might just shoot up to like top 15 LRs in the game. Like, honestly, like, people have underestimated LR Bojack a lot, and like, he's really good. And then you look at his categories: Space Traveling Warriors, Time Travelers, Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Full Power, Terrifying Conquerors, Inhuman Deeds, Transformation Boost. So a lot of good villain type categories, right? And then finally, Full Power Bojack, when you finally get him out, Stats Attack, which is what Final Form Cooler does. Then his passive is literally the exact same. Key 3, attack and defense 180%. Has a chance of, he performs an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. But then this is where it stops. Gain an additional attack and defense, attack 30 and a defense 15% when collecting 3 or more key spears. And then gain an additional attack 30% and defense 15% when collecting 6 or more key spears. So we're talking attack, 60% attack and 30% defense when getting 6 or more key spears. Links unchanged. So you can run full power Bojack with his pre-transformation base form Bojack, right? So here's the thing, because now he's like a mix of Cooler and Kefla. But man, probably like Cooler. Obviously, he's a let's look. Final form Cooler has the same thing, but then performs guaranteed critical hits when there are pure hybrid same category enemies. This guy, he needs orbs. Now, unless you have an orb changing unit on the same team. Now, granted, this is good. It doesn't matter what type of key spear. It just means 3 or 6 in general. But that might not always work out in some situations. There are situations where you do only get 1 key spear or 2 key spears. More often than not, you will get the additional 3 key spears. So you'll get that 30% and 30% attack and 15% defense. So more 75% of the time, this will be active. And then 6 or more key spears. I mean, that's not very common, but it does happen, like maybe 15 to 20% of the time. So, it's hard to say. On paper, I would say Bojack might be worse than Cooler. But here's the catch, though. From what I've seen in the thing, Truth is already called Truth, and like a whole bunch of other people are calling him a worse version of Cooler, right? But I don't want to, completely get this guy out of here just yet, right? Because you look at some of his links. Heraclan, Galactic Warrior, Thirst for Conquest, Revival, Big Bad Bosses, they are giving out a ton of attack and defense. Those leads alone give out nothing but attack and defense, right? So this guy's defense is also going to be through the roof as well. So I want to say that he's a worse version than Cooler, but at the same time, he might just be on par with Cooler. It's unfortunate. This guy's not better than Cooler. I don't think he's better than Cooler. Is he on par with him? Maybe. Because the problem with Bojack is that, one, yes, like I mentioned, he is a time traveler's leader, but he's not that much better than, like, you can run in Goku Black for the Future Saga units, and then you can run Bojack for like the Frieza Bojack and like other type of units that share like Revival, for example, or Thirst for Conquest. But like, he doesn't. If he was a time traveler support type unit, he would have been so much better. Guarantee it. Immediately would have been so much better. But unfortunately, he's not. Space Traveling Warriors, it is going to be good. I feel like, if they do it right, which is very rare, but if they do it right, you'll have Cooler, Turles, Demon King Piccolo, Baby, Vegeta, Nappa, all these different types of Terrifying Conqueror units. And then with the addition of, like, say, Dragon Ball Super Broly and Dragon Ball Z Broly Second Coming, and there's probably, maybe 1 or 2 more people that I'm, characters that I'm missing, but like Broly is like the first prime example that I can think of, right? But if they do it right, he is going to be supporting a very good villain type category. But like, I don't know, man. We'll have to see how he is in game to really judge him. It's really, really hard. His Dokkan event was announced in game, so he is going to be coming out in just a few days for JP Dokkan. So keep that in mind. And let's skip over Bojack for a second, because I do want to talk about Zanya. She is Extreme Tech. Space Traveling Warriors, Key 3, 120% across the board. Supreme Damage, lowers attack and defense. Attack and defense, 30% per Space Traveling Warriors category ally on the team. So, That's fine. If you're running a full space traveling warriors, we're talking 180 attack and defense. So that is very good. Perform an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack if there is a character whose name includes Bojack attacking in the same turn. And then attack enemies, attacking defense minus 20%, recover 10% HP at the start of turn. So she's very good. The problem is that, okay, so she'll say, share Heraclan, Galactic Warrior, Revival, and Fierce Battle with Bojack, but the lack of big bad boss, because Bojack has big bad bosses, and what else? What was his other link that I'm missing here? Thirst for Conquest? I think that was Thirst for Conquest. And then, does she have Coward? No. So it was Brutal Beatdown and Battlefield Diva and Shocking Speed that the links are changed for, right? But okay, so she's good. She's not bad by any means. Even if you don't run another Bojack on the team, just like, well, excuse me, in the same turn, you would want to run Bojack as the leader of her. But if you don't run her in the same attacking turn, you can skip over the chance of the additional super attack. You know, 180% attack and defense if you're running a full Space Traveler category team. Attack enemies at minus 20% attack and defense, and recovering 10 HP at the start of turn. She's not bad by any means, you know, but she's also not going to be working well with a lot of like her Peppy Gal's units off the top of my head. Like she has Battlefield Diva, which is great, but Battlefield Diva can only get you so far. So Zanya is not a bad unit by any means. Well, again, we'll have to wait until we see her in game to really, you know, judge her skills. But I also just want to wait as well because, like, on paper she's not bad. She could have been better, but she's not bad by any means. No, she's probably definitely better than some of the other TURs that came out recently. But Bojack. And also, here's another thing that somebody did point out to me. Bojack's attack for being an STR unit is very, very low. You know, Rainbow, he's only going to get up to like 15,000 attack. Where you look at some of the recent units of like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who has like 17,000 attack. Even Cooler, for example, has 17,000 attack Rainbow. He's not going to put up Cooler damage numbers, I don't think, in my personal opinion. If you fully run the team around STR Cooler, and you do it right, you know, you see Cooler launching up to 3 super attacks, each with like 5 million or more with them. Bojack, maybe you might be able to do that, but it's definitely going to be tough. I think defensively, he is going to be better, right? Because what's his defense at? Yeah, I think defensively, he might be on par with Cooler. They're both good. Cooler, the problem with Cooler is that, you know, a lot of people for a long time shunned Cooler for having low defense, but with the link level update, that changes to now, you know, he has like over 200,000 defense, you know, in his final transformation. Bojack's going to be the exact same way, I'm pretty sure. He might even have higher defense. Again, it's hard to judge him when he's not in game right now, but, you know, is he a Cooler 2.0? Yes. Is he better than Cooler? I want to say no, unfortunately. I want to say no. You know, it sucks. It really, really sucks, considering, you know, we're a year later, and then Cooler has come out a year ago, and then this guy comes out a year later, and he's not better than him. So, but, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath. For all we know, when we get him in-game, he might actually, like, completely surpass Cooler. I don't think so, just because of the fact that, you know, Cooler's supporting capabilities are better, and then I think, personally, his Final Form transformation passive is better, because Cooler gets guaranteed crits against pure hybrid Saiyans, which is literally more than, like, 75 to 80% of the entire game. This guy needs Key Spears to get up his full attacking passive, right? Personally, I would have liked Bojack better. 1, if he was a Time Traveler support type unit, and 2, if Zanya was an Orb Changer. If she was an Orb Changer and you run full powered Bojack with her, you know, then Bojack will be like crazy, crazy, crazy good. Hell, even made the pre-transformation of Bojack, maybe an orb changer or something like that. Then it would have probably worked out, but man, it's tough. It really, really is tough. I don't know. We'll have to wait a few more days for the data download for Bojack, and then we'll have to see, right? But first initial reactions, let's call him on par to slightly below STR Cooler. I am very excited nonetheless because his animations look great. We're finally getting a Dokkanfest Bojack for the first time ever. You know, it's just, dude, they just copy and pasted Cooler's passives. They literally copy and pasted Cooler as a unit, but it feels like they've made them just a bit worse. I don't know. So, anyways, that is it. That is Bojack and Zanya. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.